Need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Dive into summer style and savings during the Memorial Day event at Living Spaces. Enjoy cozy lounging with sofas starting at $350, easy resting with queen beds starting at $195, and special meals with dining sets starting at $295. You'll even find outdoor sets for al fresco fun starting at $595. Plus, pay no interest for 24 months on select purchases with your good credit and enjoy free shipping as soon as next day. Celebrate the start of summer and shop the Memorial Day event only at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
Come visit the all-new Wecopa Casino Resort, formerly Fort McDowell Casino. Whether you're visiting for slots, table games, the Valley's favorite bingo hall, golf, or food, our new smoke-free casino resort is the place to be. Enjoy a fine dining experience like no other at Ember, or go for the lively crowd at WKP Sportsbook and Bar. Wecopa offers 2 top 10 golf courses in the state, and the resort with heated pools and cabanas is the perfect place to relax. Come experience Wecopa Casino Resort today. At Wecopa, we have the best of it all.
Ooh, Del Taco?
Yep, they got these new boxes that are loaded with my faves.
Big boxes, come on, can I get a Del, yeah?
Hell yeah.
What was that?
Oh, I bring these guys everywhere. Really enhances the experience.
Introducing El Big Boxes from Del Taco. Choose from the $5 Classico, the $7 Mex Faves, and $9 Amerimex box. More food, more flavor, more value. Only at Del Taco.
Del, yeah.
Price of participation may vary.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
A rough night at the office last night for the Arizona Diamondbacks, but some day baseball provides a chance for a series win in the Bay Area. Welcome in. Chris Schubert with you on this Wednesday edition of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Got you streaming over on the KDUS AM 1060 app, and you can watch us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. You can watch the show on Twitter as well. Hope everyone's having a great start to their Wednesday. Producer Evan is behind the glass, trying to plug in his computer, try to have all the buttons be pressed. He's taking your phone calls, 480-864-1060. He looks very frantic to start the program. Are we doing okay back there, Producer Evan? We are on the air, yes?
Yes, we are on the air.
Okay, just making sure.
Everything's good.
Okay, you look like you were scrambling back there to plug stuff in.
Quick scramble. Well, I was very confused with my computer there for a second. Turns out it didn't plug in the webcam, which was the issue there. And then I looked up and you're wearing glasses, and I've never seen you wear glasses. So that also threw me for a spin. And now here we are.
These are not prescription glasses. These are blue light glasses. I spend a lot of my time looking at screens, staring at different computer monitors. I mean, in front of me right now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 screens. I sit in front of 3 screens at my desk all day.
I'm beating you there. I got 5 in front of me.
At home, I've got 3 screens. So the eyes, they strain a little bit. There are times where I want to break out the glasses ahead of time just so I don't have that eye strain, those headaches, the migraines that come with that. So, yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, I am wearing my blue light glasses today.
No, I like it. I
did not realize it was
threw
going
me
to
a curveball.
I did not know it was going to throw you off the way that it did. But yes, I wear these from time to time when I can feel the eye strain starting to formulate. I like to get ahead of it. The Diamondbacks last night in action, Brandon Pfaadt on the mound. And that's where we'll start today's show, because the Diamondbacks, they are a direct reflection of what their record says they are.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
After the loss last night, the Diamondbacks have now fallen to 22-21 on the season. 1 game above 500. A .512 winning percentage through their first 43 games. And I would argue to all of you today that that record is exactly who this team has been. They are an inconsistent roller coaster ride right now. When they have everything clicking, when the pitching is on the way it was the other night with Merrill Kelly, when Corbin Carroll is hitting like an MVP candidate, and the bullpen is able to get the out slate, they're going to win a lot of baseball games. When you get a night like you did last night from Brandon Pfaadt, when your bullpen, Joe Mantiply in particular, gives it up in the late innings, hands those insurance runs over to San Francisco, then they just blew the doors open on the game, you're not going to win a lot of games. And the seesaw nature of this Diamondback season has been in full swing here over the last week and a half. The Diamondbacks have gone 11 straight games without a winning streak or a losing streak. What does that mean? That means over the last 11 games, they have alternated win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. Not the famous win-loss game that we're going to play on tomorrow's program. No, not that. But over the last 11 games, this team has alternated wins and losses. Have not had a 2-game winning streak, have not had a 2-game losing streak. Just a middle-of-the-pack, middle-of-the-road, 500 baseball team that right now sits just 1 game above 500 and sits 5.5 games back of the Dodgers in the division. Direct reflection of who they are. Last night, these last 11 games, this is what they are right now as a baseball team. A team that can't put together. We don't want them to put together that long losing streak. But what they have not been able to crack the code on, what they haven't been able to stack, is a winning streak. And they've had some good pitching. Kelly was good. Burns was great over the weekend. They just haven't been able to string those together where it flows from one day to the next day. I mean, just look at the Dodger series. A great opening night of that Dodger series with Brandon Pfaadt on the mound, looking like an ace, looking like a number one guy. You beat the Dodgers. The next night, you have that game that we won't mention on Friday night. Corbin Burns is back on Saturday. He gets you back on track. And then on Sunday, you have Gallen on the mound. You're unable to put together a winning streak. It's just win-loss, win-loss, win-loss for this team right now. And last night had all of the makings of the recipe for this team when they don't win. They don't get good enough starting pitching. Brandon Pfaadt didn't have it last night. A uncharacteristic, at least in 2025, start from Brandon Pfaadt. Did not have the command, was getting squeezed by the umpire, was a generous zone for the hitters last night, I would say. And so he was fighting it early on. Robbie Ray was fighting it early on for the Giants. Diamondbacks got on him for a 3-spot early, but they let him settle down. When you saw the way the first inning went in that game last night and the Diamondbacks were able to put up a 3-spot, you were not thinking that Robbie Ray was going to finish the evening with a quality start in his stat sheet. Thought you were going to be all over him. You weren't. He settled down. Your bats went quiet, combined with Pfaadt battling, fighting. Now, in fairness to him, did not have his best stuff. Kept the team in the game. It was 4-3. They had a chance. Bullpen did what the bullpen did. Kendall Graveman put up a 0 in his first appearance of the season. Boy, is this team going to need that. Joe Mantiply did not put up a 0 last night. And I don't know how long you can continue to try to make things work with Joe Mantiply out there in that bullpen. Now, I don't think until Justin Martinez comes off the injury list, if you have another option that you want to try down there, but I don't think you can continue to run out Joe Mantiply. You certainly are keeping him away from every. Torrey uses, I use high leverage, low leverage spots. Torrey uses positive role relievers, negative role relievers. Those are the phrases he uses. And I think we're speaking the same language, just phrasing it differently. Joe Mantiply is not a high leverage reliever. Joe Mantiply is not a positive role reliever. I don't even know if Joe Mantiply is a negative role reliever. I don't know if I would even want him out there in those spots either. But Joe Mantiply just has not been good this season. And I don't know how many times they can continue. And I know they were already losing last night, but they just can't continue to put him in any types of spots. They need somebody new out there in that bullpen.
No, the Mantiply experience is over.
Done. You're calling it today. May 14th, Joe Mantiply experience done in Arizona.
Well, I got our friends over at Arizona Diamondback Stats and Info.
D-Back Stats and Info, our favorite Twitter account here on the program.
Mantiply has a 15.83 over ERA over 9 2/3 in 2025. He's allowed an earned run each of his last 6 MLB appearances, and teams are hitting .481 off him currently.
Yeah, you just can't have that out in your bullpen, even if it's somebody that is in a negative role or a low leverage reliever.
He's not even giving you innings. Like he's not even.
No, you're not getting innings. When he's out there, you're not getting quality innings. And again, last night they were losing in the game already when he came in, but you can't be an automatic 3 spot for the other team.
481 is the opponent's average against in his last 6 MLB appearances.
That means nearly 50% of the time
somebody's getting a hit.
Somebody's getting a hit. Not getting on base.
Getting a hit.
Getting a hit. What's that on base percentage look like?
I don't even know.
D-back Stats and Info didn't have that for us.
It came up short on that one.
They just had the average.
Yeah, just the average.
I mean, I'm going to guess just
it's got to be over 5.
Basic arithmetic, it's probably over 52, 53%. Just basics. But yeah, he has not been good. Now, again, the flip side of that coin was really good to see Kendall Graveman out there put up a 0. He did have a walk. But again, zeros are the name of the game right now for this bullpen. They don't have enough guys that regularly enough put up zeros. So Kendall Graveman, a veteran, a guy who, if not for the injuries, probably would have signed a multi-year contract somewhere and been a high-leverage reliever. But a injury history, a laundry list of injuries, and some serious ones, a shoulder, I think he had an elbow thing too. Some serious stuff that makes you question what that guy has left at the big league level. Diamondbacks took a flyer on him. He got to spring, got banged up, was on rehab, some rehab assignments down in Reno, and now is back with his club and posted a 0 last night. Good. Now let's see if they can add some more high leverage stuff to his plate, slowly but surely, because that is another weapon that this team's going to need back in the back end of that bullpen when Justin Martinez comes back. And then you can start to see the forest through the trees of a bullpen that has some veteran experience out there, that has the stuff, that has the makeup, that has the guys who just check those boxes pedigree-wise to be a closer. They're just missing that right now. So Joe Mantiply not good last night. That experience needs to come to an end. Kendall Graveman, the start of his Diamondbacks journey, I thought he was pretty good last night. Also, you know who also continues to be really good for the Arizona Diamondbacks? Corbin Carroll. Hit his 14th home run last night. Is now tied, I believe, for the lead in the majors with 14 home runs. A little birdie told me that it may or may not be a part of buy or sell today. A Corbin Carroll-related thing.
There is a small Corbin Carroll-related take in buy or sell.
So we will get to that at the end of hour number 1. We will probably expand on Corbin Carroll's great start to the season, but his 14th home run last night, left center field, one of the deeper parts of that ballpark out there, and he put one out in the seats. And he continues. John on YouTube says he looked like Pete Alonso, 2 strikeouts and a home run. I think that's a little unfair to Corbin. Corbin is not Pete Alonso, but it was a Pete Alonso type performance.
Also, Pete's been great this year.
Pete has not struck out as much as you would expect, right? The old 3 true outcome, walk, home run, strikeout. Mm-hmm. Corbin Carroll's better than that. He's not a 3 true outcome guy. I think it's a little unfair. And for Pete, we yesterday threw him in the MVP conversation in the National League when discussing Corbin Carroll. Okay, we believe in fairness here on this program. We believe in calling balls and strikes. We talk about the good and the bad. So you know what we have to do.
Ugh,
we have to talk about it. We were the ones leading the charge, leading the campaign here. He gets called up. He makes his first start of the season last night. He plays at shortstop. It is our job to break it down, and it wasn't good. Tough night at the plate. Made the error in the field. Just not the way he wanted to start his 2025 season. Not the way the Diamondbacks wanted him to start his 2025 season. Just not a great night.
Nope.
Only way up from there is,
it's early.
It's early. You hit me with it's early. The only place he can go from here is up. With the night
We're
that he had.
calling that rock bottom.
I think that's probably rock bottom. An error, a tough night at the dish. Well, listen, we still believe. We're not going anywhere, okay? But not a great debut for him.
No.
They put him in at shortstop. That's where he drew his assignment yesterday, giving Perdomo the day off, and made the one error in the field. Didn't have a great night at the dish. At one point, I think it was when he was up for his 4th at bat, he had a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. So at least he was putting the ball in play, but did not have the night. Did not have a night to start his 2025 season the way he was hitting down in Reno. But it's early. Give it time. Let him settle in. Don't panic already. Don't immediately go, they should have kept him down in Reno. This is a new thing for him. Starting sitting. He is not in the lineup today. Get used to that. He's going to play 3 or 4 times a week. I don't think they want to overextend him early. So day off today. The team has an off day tomorrow. Then they start a series over the weekend with the Rockies. That feels like a perfect spot to get him a couple of starts against a really bad Rockies team, a really bad Rockies pitching staff that he can probably beat up on. So that feels like a really nice spot for 2 of those 3 games. I'd expect him to be in there over the weekend.
Expect a little bit more comfortability at home as well.
Yeah, in front of the home crowd. Probably will get third base time because they got Perdomo the day off. So I'm sure they'll look.
He's going to get a loud roar.
Yeah. So the weekend, listen, we're still in. We're not going anywhere.
Listen, it's one game.
One game.
One game. Did it go poorly?
Yes.
Yes.
It was not great. It was not a great first game for Jordan Lawler this season.
But we're coming back.
We're coming back. And the other thing that's going to be interesting is how Torrey uses him as a pinch hitter off the bench. What type of spots does he look to get Lawler in?
I'm interested to see not only that, but how he succeeds as a pinch hitter, because it's interesting. You know, we talked about he played every day down in Reno.
Yep.
Already, I think that day off messed with a little bit of the rhythm to it all.
It's an adjustment.
And it's moving around. There's a rhythm to playing every day. Now he's out. There's that adjustment. And then it's going to be he's not going to play and we're going to pinch hit him. That's another really hard adjustment to come in the 7th inning game when you didn't get any swings.
Well, and that's going to be interesting to see with the lineup that they have today. They don't have Gabby Moreno in the lineup. Lawler isn't in the lineup. I'm trying to think of Grichuk isn't in the lineup. So got some of the righties on the bench. Who does he go to first, right? If it's a close game and they're trying to scratch across a run, who does Torrey go to? Is it Lawler? Is it somebody else? So just something to file away and keep an eye on tomorrow. Now, John asks, what was the deal with Tawa in center? I think the versatility is something that the Diamondbacks are, it's the reason why Tawa stayed up when they brought up Lawler and they just DFA'd Garrett Hampson. The versatility, if you look at who they have on the infield right now, Perdomo has versatility. Ketel Marte, versatility. Lawler, versatility. Tawa, versatility. I mean, those 4 guys that I just mentioned, all I can envision at least 2 spots, if not 3 spots, that they could play for Torrey Lovullo. That's what the Diamondbacks crave. They crave that positional versatility, especially with the guys that they're going to put up the middle of their infield, short, second, and center. They want guys who are athletes that have that Swiss Army knife ability to move in and out of spots. I mean, Ketel Marte can play the outfield, and at any moment they can put him out there if they want to. They moved him to second to get him off his feet, so he's not running around patrolling out there in the outfield, but he can go out there and play center. They put Tawa in there last night. You have Lawler, who we've campaigned on this program to get some reps in the outfield, just to find another way to maybe get him involved in the lineup. So the versatility is something great. It's something that the team covets. It's something that allows Torrey Lovullo to get these guys days off, and it is a strength of this team. 480-864-1060, the phone number if you want to join us here today on the program. You've also, you can join us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. When we come back, the NBA Draft Lottery and the playoffs are sending a message to the Phoenix Suns. Will they listen to it? That's next on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Breaking Benjamin. Stay forever. And 3 Days Grace. Live. October 8th at Desert Diamond Arena with special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, presented by the Big Red Radio.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G when you switch to the 5G Unlimited or 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
It starts with a simple order, a cold Dos Equis dressed with salt and lime. But for the salt clinging to the bottle and the lime perched on top, this is the luckiest of unions. As if the universe has swiped right, pairing flavors together with a crisp Dos Equis. This is refreshment designed by fate, blessed by destiny, and served by bartenders. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Look who won the NBA draft lottery. With just a 1.8% chance of doing so, the Dallas Mavericks, which of course broke the internet and had social media running amok with conspiracy theories about how the league rigged it for the Mavs after they inexplicably gave Luka Doncic to the Lakers. It's all pretty hilarious to me, especially since then NBA Commissioner David Stern lost his mind when I asked him back in the day if the lottery was rigged when the Knicks selected Patrick Ewing. I just asked the question and he just snapped. I'm not even saying it is. What I am saying is I'm having a hard time finding anybody who thinks that it's not. Oh, and shout out to my man, Nico Harrison. I know you're in win now mode, and you're probably thinking about trading the rights to Cooper Flagaway. Part of me thinks you've already survived your career suicide attempt once. Don't try it again. But another part of me thinks if you do, you'll be my favorite guy ever. My man, no fear, all in, let's go. Pull the trigger, Nico. I'm Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, Chris Schubert with you. Wednesday edition of the program. NBA Draft Combine underway in Chicago. Seeing quotes from draft prospects, seeing some highlights as they start or getting into some of the activities, and everyone's still kind of reacting to the way the NBA draft lottery went, with the Mavs ending up with the number 1 overall pick. And I think the NBA is trying to tell the Phoenix Suns something. I think the NBA draft lottery is trying to tell the Phoenix Suns something. And I think the way the playoffs are going are trying to send a message to the Phoenix Suns. And it's one that I would be on board with. I just don't know if the Phoenix Suns are going to follow the message. Who got the top 2 spots in the NBA draft via the lottery? The Dallas Mavericks and the San Antonio Spurs. 2 teams that reside in the Western Conference. Look at the way the NBA playoffs are going right now. In the Eastern Conference, the two teams that everybody thought runaway favorites to not only win the East, but to win the championship. Cleveland, gone already. Boston, losing Jason Tatum. More than likely going to be out the door at the hand of the New York Knicks. And we, yesterday during Buy or Sell, said that this version of the Celtics is over. They're spending a ton of money. They have a very expensive roster. They're going to be without Tatum probably for a large portion of next season. They are going to be a different team. The Eastern Conference feels wide open. In the West, you've got 5 or 6 teams that are all on a championship level right now. You've got Oklahoma City. You've got Minnesota, who's playing some great basketball right now. You have Houston and San Antonio, teams that are on the rise, teams that feel like they are at the start of their championship window. Denver, as long as they have Jokic, they are going to be in the mix, in the conversation. The Western Conference right now is, we'll use a word we've used a lot recently on the program. It's a gauntlet. And the Phoenix Suns are in some ways trying to hit the reset button this summer. And the Dallas Mavericks, the team I didn't mention, have the number 1 overall pick and could be adding Cooper Flagg to Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. The NBA is trying to tell the Phoenix Suns to be patient. The basketball gods are trying to send a message to Matt Ishbia. You tried it your way. It didn't work. You tried to be high-paced. You tried to be the new owner that was splashy and flashy, that bought the brand new sports car and was showing it off to everybody. The basketball gods are telling Matt Ishbia, slow it down. The basketball gods are telling the Phoenix Suns to have patience. And the timing couldn't be better. The Phoenix Suns just got themselves a brand new general manager who I think, if he's going to work out, if Brian Gregory is going to work out as a GM, we're going to need to give him some time. We're going to need to give him our patience. You're going to trade Kevin Durant this summer. You're going to move on from Bradley Beal, or at least we expect you to move on from Bradley Beal. Your roster is going to look very, very different next season. It's not going to be, on paper, talent-wise, as good of a team as you've had over the last couple of years. And that's okay. Because you know what? I don't know if you want to be a part of this Western Conference gauntlet right now. Let Houston and San Antonio, teams that are on the rise right now, Oklahoma City, a team that's on the rise right now, let them try to battle it out between one another. And you set yourself up when those teams are on the glide slope downwards. When they are on the back 9 of their championship window, you want that to time up with your ascent. Patience is the name of the game for the Phoenix Suns, and the NBA right now is telling them, be patient, man. What's the rush? You want to rush to find a head coach? You want to rush to reshape this roster? There is not enough that you can do this summer that's going to put you on the level of the teams right now in the Western Conference. There's nothing you can do to be on the level of Houston. Not in one offseason. There's nothing that you can do in one summer to get you on the level of where Dallas is going to be, where Denver currently is, where Minnesota currently is, where Oklahoma City currently is. You are, best case scenario, 2 summers away from that. So be patient. Take your time. Do things the right way. And perhaps this message that is being sent by the NBA basketball gods is being listened to. Dwayne Rankin wrote a story, I believe it was this morning, saying that the Suns, in their head coaching process, have interviewed 15 candidates so far. That should be music to all of our ears. That is music to my ears. Take your time. Talk to anybody that may be interested in this gig. Pick their brains. Ask them what they think about the Phoenix Suns. do your due diligence and make sure that you get this right. There's a reason why they have the saying, patience is a virtue. The Phoenix Suns, in the first couple of years of Matt Ishbia, did not want to be patient. It was go, go, go. Splashy, flashy, big names, making big moves, being the talk of the NBA, shooting up the boards of the betting sites, favorite to win the Western Conference, favorite to win the NBA championship. That was the name of the game the first couple of years. Now the name of the game needs to be patience. Dallas and San Antonio got a gift from the basketball gods, and they're number 1 and number 2 in the NBA draft lottery. The Western Conference right now, if we are comparing the two conferences, the Western Conference is a gauntlet. It is like the AFC in football. If you were an expansion football team, where would you want to be right now? Put me in the NFC, please. I know that the reigning Super Bowl champs are in the NFC, but my pathway to the playoffs, my pathway to relevancy is a lot easier in the NFC compared to the AFC. The same can be said about the Western Conference in the NBA right now. Indiana is a 4 seed. The Knicks are the 3 seed. The top 2 seeds, both, not going to be, more than likely, unless Boston has a big comeback, not going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Cleveland, a team that won how many games? Not going to be there. The Eastern Conference feels like an open pathway. Now, you can make the argument the Western Conference is open to a lot of teams, but guess what? There's no more seats at the table. The Phoenix Suns, if they were invited to that party, they would be relegated to the kids' table. They would be relegated to hang out with the teams that think they should be at the adult table, but they're not really at the adult table. Just wait a couple years. Wait a couple years. Bide your time. Do things the right way. Get this head coach thing right. Focus on what you need to focus on this summer. Get this started in the right direction. And then in a couple years, guess what? You're going to be at the adult table. And if you play your cards right, if you do this the right way, you're going to be at the adult table at the right time with the right group ready to take over the Western Conference. So I think the message is being sent. The basketball gods are telling the Phoenix Suns, be patient. This is the right thing for your franchise right now because the Western Conference is a melee. It is a just round robin of anarchy and chaos and good basketball teams that the Phoenix Suns are nowhere near competing with right now. So don't try. Don't try to compete with those teams. Just slowly, methodically do things the right way. Slowly, methodically put this team on a pathway towards being a part of that melee when the time is right. 480-864-1060 is the phone number. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, there was a lot made of Marvin Harrison Jr. and his rookie struggles. We've blamed Marv. We've blamed the quarterback. There's somebody else to blame for his rookie season. That's next on the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Stevie Nicks. One special night, October 7th, PHX Arena.
Would you love to love her? I will pray to.
Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Stevie Nicks. Live at PHX Arena.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
They will resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He had heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-PAIN. That's 602-837-PAIN. 602-837-PAIN.
You wanted to see me, Ron?
Yeah. See that woman sitting there? When did we hire her?
Oh, we didn't hire her. It's Take Your Mom to Work Day.
I've never heard of that.
Saw it on the internet.
Oh, boy.
Hey, guys. It's neat that Gary has a mom and all, but shouldn't we be talking about Alaskifications?
That's why I brought Mom in.
I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but she can't promise a 1-year no breakdown guarantee the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope. And she doesn't promise lower energy bills the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope.
And she doesn't make sure people's air conditioner lasts longer than average the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope. But she sings.
If you want your AC to last all summer long, with an Alaskification, it will always blow strong.
Wow.
Double wow.
Thanks, Mom.
Anything for the president of the company. How long have you two boys worked for Gary?
Gary.
Hey, gotta go. Promise to take Mom to lunch. Bye.
If you want your AC to last all summer long, with an Alaskification, it will always blow strong.
Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Later on today, we will get the schedule release for the NFL. Although, if you're keeping tabs on social media, stuff's getting leaked left and right. The NFL needs to call a plumber because there's just leaks everywhere right now. Full schedules are getting released. I saw the Dolphins' full schedule during the last commercial break. Stuff is leaking all over the place. Some of the Cardinals' opponents and the order of those opponents are beginning to leak. We're going to save that for tomorrow, where we play the famous win-loss game. Excited to see how the schedule gets released. I think more so than the schedule release itself and seeing the games that we all know. We all know who the Cardinals are going to play next season. It's just, you search it online, you can see every single opponent that this team is going to play next year. But seeing it in the order and seeing when the road games are going to be, where on the calendar they are, how they're bunched together, maybe have 2 tough road tests in a 3 or 4 week span. It's just different when you see it laid out. And so that's what we will do tomorrow when we play the win-loss game. But I also get excited to see the creativity of the social media teams for all of these NFL franchises, to see how they put these together.
So fun.
It's always fun to see. Chargers are notoriously good at this. They seem to always get high remarks.
The Titans always have a fun one where they go down on Broadway and ask people.
So 2 years ago, the one that they did where they went down on Broadway Street down there in Nashville, and they released the schedule that way, and they were talking to people on the street, was excellent. I thought that was a great one. The Cardinals rumored to have a good one this year. I heard Ian Rappaport say this. I think he went on Pat McAfee and said that he had heard that the Cardinals have a interesting schedule release this year. So that got me a little bit more excited about that. So later on today, after we are off the air, it will officially get released. But if you do some digging, if you do some searching out there on the internet, you will find that there will be some leaks out there. And like the Saints being the Cardinals' week 1 opponent is something that I've seen out there today. Again, we 3 weeks ago told you exactly when we were going to play the win-loss game, I am not going to ruin the integrity of that. Just like I don't ruin the integrity of our pre-show pinball games, I will not ruin the integrity of the win-loss. You had a tough one this morning.
I don't want to get it.
Do we let everybody in on how this works? So before the show every day, we play a pre-show game of pinball. We have a couple of pinball machines here in the building. And I've been here, it'll be a year in August that I've been here. So I've been here, but we've been doing the show for about 6 months or so. And so it was just a habit for me to kind of just relax my mind before the show. I just play a game of pinball. I play one of the machines in the building. So you got here and you're like, we got pinball machines? I'm like, yeah. So I showed you where the pinball machines were. And you've been playing. And so now we've made it a thing where before the show, both of us play, we see who does best. And I've given you the choice. Do you want to go first? Do you want to be on the road or do you want to be the home team in baseball? You want last licks? Do you want to know what you have to do? So the other day, you went first. You put up a decent number.
Put up 6.
You put up 6. I went down there and I put up, I think it was 21, 22 million. I did well. This morning, you said, you know what? You go first. You set the number. And I had a rough go. Pinballs didn't break my way. 3.2 was the number I put up. 3.2 million. And so you roll down there and you're feeling good. 1.1 million on the first ball.
No, it was even better than that. It was 1.6 on the first ball.
You were at like 2.2, 2.3 after the second ball. It was like, all right, you're on a great pace. You're going to beat me. It's going to be barely, but you're going to get a win. And that third ball was just an utter catastrophe. So much so, it was so bad that we are now starting to think about on our Instagram account posting these pre-show game of pinballs. And
I don't even know how we're going to do that.
We'll figure it out. We've got a great social media team here.
But we have to do it.
Marcus is our guy. He'll figure it out. We'll just tell him the idea, and he'll come up with some fun way to do this. I am 2-0 so far since we've started the Pinball League.
Yes.
I'm 2-0. And you had it today.
It was a gift.
It was a gift. It was a gift.
And I blew it.
And you blew it. So we'll keep everybody up to date on how that all goes tomorrow. Keep an eye on the social media accounts for KDUS AM 1060. I don't know what it's going to look like, but they'll get posted up there tomorrow. I promise. Where were we? Marvin Harrison Jr., the Arizona Cardinals schedule release day. I lost my train of thought there talking about the rough morning that you had at the pinball machine. Marvin Harrison Jr.'s second-year campaign, his sophomore season, is a highly spoken about topic. Feel like we've spent airwaves discussing it. It is one of the hot button storylines for this team going into this year. The expectation that he takes a jump from year one, that he acts more, plays more like a number 4 overall pick, like wide receiver 1 coming off the board, 1,000-yard season, being a true difference maker. And we're all trying to figure out what went wrong last year, right? Ben Solak over on ESPN.com, Ben's a former colleague of mine, I know Ben very well, wrote a story up about second-year wide receivers. And his blurb about Marvin Harrison Jr. was titled, "What Happened to Marvin Harrison Jr. Last Season?" And it goes through all of the things that happened to Marv or the way the Cardinals use Marv. And he had some pretty interesting statistics in there. That Marv led the league in contested targets as a rookie for the Cardinals. Now, not just rookies, but led all of football with contested targets, with 40 of them. Talked about how Kyler Murray kind of forced the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. and how that may have been by design in the offense, but also talked about that he had 52 targets against press coverage. He only ran 7 routes after going in motion all season. Only 8 receivers had fewer routes in motion, most of them part-time players. And then this was the blurb that really stood out to me. Quote, "Harrison simply was not used creatively last season when he had 885 yards and 8 touchdowns. He was asked to play the game on hard mode as a rookie, winning all of his catches through contact. He was never hidden from the opponent's best cover man. He could have won a few more jump balls than he did, but Murray could have thrown him a few better jump balls, and offensive coordinator Drew Petzing also certainly could have eased his burden with a bunch set or 2. I was wholly unimpressed by the Cardinals' plan for Harrison last season and remain accordingly optimistic on his future as a good NFL wide receiver. That player is in there should the Cardinals want to go find him." End quote. So kind of throwing Drew Petzing under the bus there a little bit in playing a role in the struggles that Marvin Harrison Jr. had last year as a rookie. And so I don't think I'm interested in playing the blame game on May 14th. We want to do that during the season because We're trying to make adjustments to keep the season alive, to try to win football games. Okay. The past is the past. Let's talk about moving forward. Let's talk about what this team needs to do, what Drew Petzing has to do, what Kyler Murray has to do, what Marvin Harrison Jr. has to do to make this work in year 2, because all three play a role. Drew Petzing, we got to get more creative, buddy. We drafted this guy number 4 overall. Let's put him in motion a little more. Let's get him away from the best corner that the opposing team has. Let's play this chess match. Let's try to outsmart the other team. Let's try to put them in conflict. Let's try to make them make a decision with who they want to have covering Marvin if they want to change where they're moving their corners. Let's move him in motion to help Kyler diagnose some stuff pre-snap. Motion is the cure-all to trying to figure out what a defense is trying to do. So let's get a little bit more creative. Let's not run the same couple of route concepts. Let's add some more stuff to the toolbox. Kyler Murray, if we're going to go for those one-on-one deep balls, if we're going to go for those one-on-one contested catches, we've got to make good throws. We've got to make better catches if we're Marv. We have to put in the hard work. Looks like he's doing that. Everybody plays a role in this. Everybody has to do their part. Were you a drama kid in school, producer Evan? No? Yes?
Like a play guy?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I was in the band, so sometimes was a part of the
You were?
friends, and so I would go and support. So I found myself at these things pretty regularly. When you're at the play, everybody's got a role. In order for the scene to work, everybody has to do their part correctly. Everybody has to follow the script. Everybody has to memorize their lines. Everybody needs to quote the famous North Carolina head coach, everybody needs to do their job. Last year, you can make the argument, not everybody was reading the script correctly. Not everybody was memorizing their lines. Not everybody was doing their job. That goes for Drew Petzing. That goes for Marvin Harrison Jr. And it goes for Kyler Murray. Because I agree with the last statement here from Ben Solak in this story. That player is in there should the Cardinals want to go find him. We've got to be more creative on offense. We have to be more creative in our pass game concepts. All of us know what you can do running the football, Drew. We all saw it last year. One of the best rushing attacks in the NFL. We were looking at the numbers in the pre-show today. Your passing offense has to get better. The way you unlock your passing offense, we've got to get creative with the way we use Marv. We have to get him out of the same 2 or 3 route concepts. We have to do a better job. Everybody does. Marvin Harrison Jr. can be a better route runner. He can be better on those jump balls, on those 50-50 balls, on those contested catches. Kyler can do a better job in making good throws to him, and Drew can do a better job scheming him open.
The 2 things that jump out to me right away, and I don't know the numbers on this. This is just from watching the games and from going back. You and I both pay for the NFL Plus.
We were breaking down film pre-show.
Get to watch the All 22 and breaking down some film and third downs and stuff. It just feels as if he runs more hitches and fades and comebacks than anybody in the NFL. And it's just, how often do you feel like you see him cross the middle of the field? How often do they scheme him open on a 3rd and 3? You know, there was 1 3rd and 3 in the Chicago game we looked at today where, you know, they run kind of a rub route with a wheel and a slant on the bottom side of the field. And then they go up to Marv, who just runs a fade. And it's a good throw and it's a catchable football. But it's just not the look. And it doesn't feel like they run these concepts to get Marv open and get your best playmaker in space. He's got to win one-on-one a lot of the time and make these contested catches. That's why we gave you that number.
If you want to force feed the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm on board. Let's go. We drafted a number 4 overall. Let's feed him targets. But let's feed him smart targets. Let's feed him targets where we're getting him open and we're not just jamming the football into a tight window. That feels like a recipe for disaster.
Or get him involved in the game early with a couple easy completions, right? Let him get a rhythm. This is a guy who is, you know, last year was a rookie. He's a young receiver. Getting him in a rhythm, give him some completions early. That stuff's important. And they didn't do any of it last year.
He's athletic. Use that athleticism. Don't just stick him on the outside against a press man corner and ask him to just win on a go route or a 50-50 ball and only throw him contested catches. We've got to be more creative. That's the other way we unlock Marv. He's got to do a better job. Kyler's got to do a better job, but we've got to get more creative as an offense. There are opportunities that are on the table if we just get a little bit more creative in our offensive scheme and our offensive play calling. We've got buy or sell to close up hour number 1 of the show. I know that Corbin Carroll's going to be in there. What else is on the docket for buy or sell? We'll find out together. That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays, 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new off-the-rails tour. Gravity-defying thrill seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lurman Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lurman Road is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Pool season is coming in hot. Before you make a splash, assign a water watcher to help keep kids safe. A water watcher is a capable adult who knows how to swim and perform CPR in case of emergency. Make sure they put away any distractions and actively monitor everyone in the group while around water. After everyone is done swimming, water watchers should scan the bottom of the pool and close and lock the pool gate behind them. Ready for more water safety tips? Visit srp.net/pool.
You got the paint job, but now you need the materials fast. Get free same-day or next-day delivery on select PPG paints from the Home Depot. Now that's a pro move. Save time on store runs and get free delivery on small or large orders of select items. Save energy shopping around with PPG's wide assortment of colors and finishes all in one place. And save money with Pro Extra, where you can get up to 20% off paints, primers, and stains through Paint Rewards. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
It's ASU Baseball's final series of the 2025 regular season over on KAZG 1440. Join the Sun Devils as they get ready to face off against Oklahoma State starting this Thursday. ASU has fought hard in every one of their matchups and look to fight to the very end. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live from Stillwater. It's ASU versus OSU. Pregame at 3:45 p.m. and first pitch at 4 over on KAZG 1440 and online at KDUS1060.com/Sun Devils.
A rapid version of buy or sell in front of us right now. Spent a lot of time talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. there in that last segment. Welcome back in, Wednesday edition of the Lunch Break, wrapping up hour number 1 of the show. Chris Schubert with you, producer Evan behind the glass. And so it can be producer Evan who takes over the show. He has 5 takes that he wants to share with me. 5 takes that I have to either buy or sell. So I play the music here for buy or sell. Now, we don't have time for this, but I love a good troll. John asks, did Evan hang up the W flag too on pinball? It's a hang up joke because you hung up on John.
Yes. No, I understand it. What's the W flag? Oh. The Cubs. All right. My bad on that one. My bad. Schmammered. And I honestly thought it was a pinball reference. And, this is kind of, I'm new to pinball. I'm a new pinball guy.
The alignment.
You got to get aligned on this.
And clearly you're not. All right. Very quickly, buy or sell.
In a big game, I'd rather have Brandon Pfaadt hit the hill than Zach Gallen.
You're choosing today to do this.
And I know bad timing, but even last night he didn't have his best stuff. I thought he fought, and he wasn't great. And to me, I'd rather have Pfaadt hit the hill than Gallen.
This is tough. You're asking me to do this after he did not pitch well last night. Now he
But
battled.
weren't you shocked that he didn't pitch well?
I was. And he
There's the
battled. Brandon Pfaadt or Zach Gallen? Man, I am a Zach Gallen stan. I'm a Zach Gallen defender. I'm selling this. I'm selling this right now.
Their first sell in our last 7.
It's our first sell in our last 7. I'll sell this one.
The Suns are certainly going to hire a first-year head coach.
They've interviewed 15 people, according to Dwayne Rankin of the Arizona Republic, so they're certainly covering their bases. I'll buy this one. I think a first-time head coach would be good for this team. Somebody given the opportunity who's been an assistant someplace else, and somebody who can instill the culture that they want, and somebody that can mold. Yeah.
Feels like a right fit, especially after you went first-time GM.
Now, I would have rather veteran front office guy, first-time head coach, first-time GM, first-time head coach, does open up Pandora's box for some problems, just people that are inexperienced and silly mistakes to happen. But I can't put the genie back in the bottle. You hired who you hired as the general manager, even though we don't like it. I still think going not somebody who has a ton of experience, not focusing on championship pedigree, but just going with somebody that checks the boxes. If that's a first-time head coach, so be it. But, yeah, I think that's where they'll go. I'll buy.
Corbin Carroll will hit 40 homers in 2025.
He hit another one last night, up to 14, tying the major league lead. 40's a lot.
He's currently on pace for 52.
He's on pace for 52?
At the pace they're currently at.
He's on pace for 52. I'm selling this.
Okay.
I'll see a 40 home run season I'll believe a 40 home run season from Corbin Carroll when I see a 40 home run season from Corbin Carroll. How about that?
I think he gets it. After yesterday's news, Pete Rose will get into the Hall of Fame within the next 5 years.
Yesterday, Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred removed anybody off of the ineligible list who has passed away, no longer with us. So Shoeless Joe Jackson and Pete Rose, the highlights of the names on that list, but it was a whole host of others. I think it was 17 names in total that now are eligible. And so now there's a committee in Cooperstown. The writers won't vote on this. There'll be there's a committee that will vote on this, but I don't think they meet again until 2027. So within the next 5 years, will Pete Rose get into the Hall of Fame? I think he's always belonged in the Hall of Fame. I've been on record that I think this is cowardly for Major League Baseball and Rob Manfred. We all knew this is exactly what was going to happen, that they were not going to – there was nothing stopping you from doing this 5 years ago. Nothing. Pete Rose was not involved in the game, was not managing, was not coaching, was a commentator at times for Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports, but you could have done this 5 years ago. And you waited until this moment so that Pete didn't get the moment. And that's fine, but it's cowardly. And I called it out. The moment that Pete passed away, we knew this is exactly what was going to happen. And they decided to wrap it up and present it differently and not make it just about Pete, but put some other people off this list and now eligible. But it's cowardly. Will he get in the next 5 years? I don't know. He should be. He should be in. Will he be? I don't know. And you know what? If I was his family, I might say thanks, but no thanks. Well, I'm not going. But that's me. I would be bitter about it. They might want to go and...
I'm sure they have an idea of what he would want to...
And that they'll probably follow those wishes. But if it was me, I would be bitter. I would be petty, and I would say thanks, but no thanks. We're not going. We'll no show.
Last one. Kind of a cool story in baseball. Javier Baez has been great. Is he officially back after the start of his resurgence?
2 home runs last night.
Including the second one, both 3-run homers. Second one, 3-run walk-off homer in the 11th.
A walk-off home run to help the Tigers, who are perhaps the hottest team in baseball, perhaps the best team in the American League right now. Since the middle of August last year, they have the best record in baseball. Better than the Dodgers, better than the Mets, better than the Padres, the Yankees.
AJ Hinch. Nice job.
Javi Baez. We'll buy this one. He's back. Playing very well. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2 right around the corner. A start today for Eduardo Rodriguez. How important is it? We'll discuss it next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
We watch these lawyers get on TV and say they're going to treat their clients like family when we know they put secret mandatory quotas on their lawyers. That means your own lawyer pressures you into a premature, terrible result. Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. We don't set settlement quotas. We measure success by achieving each client's best outcome and by each client's happiness.
Do your research after a serious injury. Call the husband and wife law team first.
The Offspring. Supercharged worldwide in 25. One unforgettable summer night. The Offspring, live in Phoenix. With special guests Jimmy E. Pearl and Newfound Glory. Playing Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater August 27th. Get tickets now at livenation.com. 3 great bands. 1 incredible show. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
This is Desert Diamond Casino, where the tables are hot to the touch and there are jackpot-winning smiles all around. The spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, slots spinning winners every day, and an atmosphere sparkling with excitement. So get your shine on, light up the room, show us what it's all about. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thana Automation.
Bet with your head, not over it. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
The savings are heating up at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, you can lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 Hybrid for just $399 a month plus tax for 36 months with just $29.99 down.
And we still have 1.9% financing on some of our most popular models like the 2025 Mazda CX-50. Go to markmazdascottsdale.com to check out our current selection of inventory not affected by future tariff changes.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda, Mark Mazda. On approved credit for $998.
Stars are shining down on Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle has more than 2,200 5-star Google reviews from across Arizona, like these.
They go that extra mile to let you know they care. A wonderful experience.
They treat their clients like family, and their professionalism is the best in the business.
They made sure I got a great offer. Like a bulldog, they fought for me.
Well said, everyone. After any accident, remember, deferred is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
Summertime savings are heating up at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, we have 1.9% financing on some of our most popular models, like the 2025 Mazda CX-50.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda, Mark Mazda. 24-month term. Approved credit plus $998.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
12 o'clock hour of the lunch break. Chris Schubert here with you. Appreciate you joining us here today on the program. Producer Evan is behind the glass, pushing all the buttons. Taking your phone calls here on a Wednesday, 480-864-1060. Your thoughts always welcome. You want to get involved with making a buy or sell suggestion. You want to get involved talking about the Diamondbacks, who that's where we're starting the second hour of the program. We've got a list coming up here. That's what my rundown says. A list in the next segment predicting the 5 most important games of the Cardinals season. And it also says here on my fancy piece of paper here that during the leftovers. Now, normally I am not told what we are doing during the leftovers. But here in all caps, it says PGA Championship picks.
I'm 1 for 1 on winners.
You did pick Rory to win the Masters, yes. So you did give that pick out. So you get to take a victory lap. And so now instead of retiring on a good note, you want to double down.
Well, no, I just figured I feel like I've become the resident golf guy here as a member of the lunch break.
Not the horse guy. That's Paul.
No, Paul's the horse guy. Paul gives out the horse picks. I'm just giving out golf picks. I'm 1 for 1 on the big winner. I figured, I've done some research on the PGA Championship. I'm going to be tuning in. Last week, they were over at Aronimink, right in my backyard. Listen, I got a good feel for this week. I'm a huge nerd.
That's what I got from all that. Breaking down the course, what they did last week. You're like, I've been doing research. All I could hear while you were saying that.
I'm a huge nerd.
All I could hear when you were breaking that down. But okay, I look forward to your picks here for the leftovers in segment 8. Around the time that the leftovers will be taking place, the Diamondbacks will get started. The finale of this 3-game series, the finale of this 16-game gauntlet before an off day and before they return home to start a softer part of their schedule, which will begin with a 3-game series against the Colorado Rockies. And today on the mound, it will be Eduardo Rodriguez for the Diamondbacks. And this will be start number 9 for E-Rod this season. And if you'll remember, it was a couple of weeks ago, probably after I think start 6 or 7, where E-Rod struggles had kind of jumped to the forefront. They were a major talking point. Could the Diamondbacks continue to roll him out there when you have Ryan Nelson just sitting in the bullpen? You're trying to keep him stretched out. You're trying to have him be ready to be a 6 starter or a swing man, but he is a starting pitcher that you've just put in the bullpen and you're trying to make it work. And we said, kind of arbitrarily, we're going to give you until start 10, E-Rod. You're going to get a couple more turns through, but if we get to 10 starts, if we get to the third of your workload mark, and that ERA is still above 5, if that ERA is still above 6, and just you're not passing the eye test, then we are going to have some of those tough conversations. Sit down and talk about Eduardo Rodriguez's future. And it is a tough conversation, all kidding aside with the drop, to have. He's got 2 more years left on his contract. This is not a team that's going to eat that. They've already had to eat one bad starting pitching contract as of late with what they did with Jordan Montgomery last year. They're already carrying that on their books. So at the end of this season, if they remove E-Rod from the rotation right now, they're just going to replace one bad contract when Montgomery's money comes off the books. You're just going to keep E-Rod and have that bad money on the books. So I think ideally they don't want to be confronted with this reality. They don't want to be confronted with this conversation. But this is a very important start for Eduardo Rodriguez. He did not have it last Friday. Did not have it in that start against the Dodgers. Just didn't have it. It was bad. Has not been good so far this season. Has had some bad luck go his way. But overall, has not been good. Torey Lovello, after the game on Friday, kind of went in on Eduardo Rodriguez, talking about not covering the base, tipping his pitches. Torey goes to great lengths to protect his players. He didn't do it on Friday night. He didn't do it after that game. He used that platform as a chance to, I think, put Eduardo Rodriguez on notice. Hey, dude, if you continue to pitch this way, you are no longer going to have a spot in this rotation. Because I'll tell you, there are candidates to replace him. You have Ryan Nelson out there in the bullpen ready to go. Already so far this season has made 1 spot start for Corbin Burns. We can just make him a permanent member of the rotation. We can let Ryan Nelson, who was great in the second half last year, I thought did an admirable job filling in for Corbin Burns last Monday against the Mets. You tried to find a spot for him in the rotation. You could just put him in there. You could take Christian Mena down from AAA, bring him back up. He's the guy who piggybacked off of E-Rod on Friday and kept that team in the game. The fact that they lost that game is a disservice to the job that Christian Mena did on Friday night. That's another candidate you can put on the list. Gilbert Diaz is down there in Reno, one of your top pitching prospects. I've got 3 candidates that I think deserve a chance if this is the way Eduardo Rodriguez is going to pitch. Now, I can't guarantee you that those guys are going to be better. I would venture a guess to say that they will be better. I feel somewhat confident that Ryan Nelson can do a better job than the 6 ERA that Eduardo Rodriguez has so far this season. And at some point, we open the show with this. You are what your record says you are at some point. And right now, the record for the Arizona Diamondbacks tell us they are an inconsistent, hovering around 500 baseball team. Why is that? Why do you hover around 500 in sports? Pick a sport and think, why does that team hover around 500? It's not because you're a bad baseball team. If you're a bad baseball team, you'd be the Colorado Rockies. If you were a bad baseball team, you'd be the Pittsburgh Pirates. You'd be the Chicago White Sox. You'd be the Miami Marlins. If you were a good baseball team, you'd be the Dodgers. You'd be the Mets. You'd be the Tigers, who we talked about in the last segment. The reason why you're a middle-of-the-road baseball team is when you're bad, you're bad. When you're good, you're good. You aren't consistent. You're not consistently bad. You're not consistently good. You are just an inconsistent, flawed baseball team. And I look at this Diamondbacks roster, and I don't see a flawed roster. I see a bullpen that's banged up, but I don't see a flawed offense. You just called up one of your top hitting prospects. You've got Ketel Marte. You've got Corbin Carroll, who's an MVP candidate right now. Look at the production you're getting offensively from guys like Corbin Carroll. You called up. Josh Naylor's been good. Pavin Smith had a good start to the year. Lourdes Gurriel's heating up. He's hitting third today because he's heating up. You've got an offense that's performing well. I'm going to try to pull up the numbers to see where the Diamondbacks sit right now in baseball on offense, because it's going to tell you a pretty clear story. The pitching is the problem right now, and specifically the starting pitching. We shared a stat yesterday from our favorite Twitter account, D-Back Stats Info, and it removed last Friday's start from Eduardo Rodriguez and showed you how good the rest of the rotation has been in the last week or so. Here's the problem. That Erod start happened, and those Erod starts are going to continue to happen if he is still in the rotation and he is still performing the way that he did on Friday. Here is where the Diamondbacks rank in all of baseball hitting. 12th in average, 8th in on-base percentage, 3rd in OPS, 6th in runs, 4th in home runs, 12th in stolen bases. Here's where they rank with their starting pitchers. 23rd in ERA, 22nd in WHIP, 20th in walks per 9, 13th in strikeouts per 9, 22nd in hits per 9, 21st in home runs per 9. Not acceptable for a group that has Zach Gallen, Corbin Burns, Brandon Pfaadt, Merrill Kelly, and Eduardo Rodriguez. Not good enough. Needs to be better. The relief pitching, I don't think you need to read me those. I don't think you need me to read you those numbers. You know what those numbers are. They're not good. But you have Eduardo Rodriguez right now, who is sporting a 6.86 ERA. He has an ERA near 7 through his first 8 starts. At some point, that's no longer going to play. This is for my it's early crowd. Is it still early on Eduardo Rodriguez? Are you still okay trotting him out every 5th day if that's how he's going to pitch? And please don't tell me it was one bad start. It's been a bad last 4 starts. It's been a bad last month or so for Eduardo Rodriguez. Corbin Burns has a sub-3 ERA. Brandon Pfaadt has a 3.73 ERA, even with that bad start last night. Merrill Kelly, a 3.71 ERA. I've got 3 pitchers with a sub-4 ERA. That's more in line with what I expect from this group. This is a very important start today for Eduardo Rodriguez because the time is running out. This team cannot continue. And I know he's a lefty, and I know they like having that out there in their rotation, but you cannot continue to run out Eduardo Rodriguez if these are the results that you are going to get. If he is going to pitch to a 6.86 ERA, and yes, the under-the-hood numbers, as we describe them here on the show, paint a little bit of a better story. But here's a guy. These are his last 4 starts. 2 2/3 against the Dodgers, 6 earned runs. 5 1/3 against the Phillies, 3 earned runs. 4 innings against the Mets, 8 earned runs. 6 2/3 against the Rays, 4 earned runs. I'll give you one more start because the Miami start right before that, he only gave up 3 home runs, but allowed 10 hits. He has allowed at least 5 hits in every start but one this season. He's allowed at least 3 earned runs in his last 4 starts. He's allowed 4 earned runs or more in 3 of his last 4 starts, 6 earned runs or more in 2 of his last 3 starts. It is unacceptably bad right now from Eduardo Rodriguez, and I don't know how much longer this team can continue to put him out there if this is the way he's going to pitch. So this is start 9. We were going to give him till start 10. But you betcha I'm keeping a close eye today. You betcha this start matters. You betcha these next 2 starts are going to determine whether or not it's Ryan Nelson's turn. Because you know what? Ryan Nelson can't be any worse. I don't think Christian Mena can be any worse. I don't think Gilbert Diaz can be any worse. In fact, it's worth giving those guys a shot to see if they can be better. You've got a team that's teetering right now. You've got a team that's 5.5 games out of the division, can barely stay around 500. They can't go on an extended run right now. 11 straight games in which it's win-loss, win-loss. Don't have a winning streak, don't have a losing streak in their last 11 games. They have a chance today to win a series. Think about what today could be for Eduardo Rodriguez. He could get back on the horse, have a great start today. They can win this series against the Giants. They can finish this 16-game stretch. They can parlay that into an off day, and then they can start a softer part of their schedule and a 3-game series against the Colorado Rockies where they need to be all over Colorado. This could be a really nice day for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Series win. Erod can get back on track. Could be a really good day. But he's running out of time. Eduardo Rodriguez has got 2 starts. He has 2 starts to prove to me that he deserves an 11th start. Because right now, 8 starts, that sample size, not good enough. The last 4 starts in particular are not good enough. The Dodgers start is not an outlier. He got tagged for 8 runs against the Mets at the end of April. He's given up a home run in 4 straight starts. If the Diamondbacks want to get out of this rut, if they want to get out of just being a 500 baseball team or hovering around a 500 baseball team, they need their starting pitching to step up. The offense is doing their part. And so one of the guys that needs to step up, one of the guys who needs to be better is Eduardo Rodriguez. And Torrey, I think, is starting to open the door to making a change. He called him out on Friday. How does Eduardo Rodriguez respond? We'll see today. We will see today how he responds. Fair? Anything I said out of line, producer Evan?
No.
We're good. We stay above board there.
I think we've talked about this. This is it. This is the test, right? You need to be at a point where you can keep your head above water. They are not at a point where they are currently above water and they're sinking fast.
Here is what scares me. If he doesn't pitch well today, do you know? I'm not trying to troll you. This is a legitimate question. Do you know who his next start is lined up to be against?
It's not the Rockies after that. Is that off the top of my head? I don't.
It's the Dodgers, the same team that tagged him last Friday night. That's start number 10.
You can't run him out for that.
If he struggles today, you're basically saying, we'll use our number of 10 starts. We said this is not an internal thing, not a Diamondback decision. We said you get 10 starts. You get a third of your season, basically, to try to prove us that you deserve the rest of the season. If he struggles again today, it's now 5 straight starts of him struggling. It's 1 more start left on our number that we said you've got a 10-start sample size to prove to us. And your next start's going to be against a Dodgers team that had your number the other day. Time is running out. Today is the day.
Now or never.
It is now or never for Eduardo Rodriguez's spot in this rotation because you can't look at everybody else in that room. You can't look at Jordan Lawler, who you called up to help contribute to this team. You can't look at Corbin Carroll, who's having an MVP-type season. You can't look at everybody who is grinding and working their tails off to try to keep this season on the rails till Justin Martinez is able to come back, till the pitching can stabilize. You can't look at all those guys and say, I am making the right decisions that are in the best interest of this team trying to win if you continue to try to Eduardo Rodriguez if he struggles again today. You just can't do it. You can't. We're running out of time. So we'll keep an eye on how he does today. That'll get started, 12:45 today, I believe, his first pitch for that game. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. When we come back, it's Wednesday. We got to do a list on a Wednesday, predicting the 5 most important games of the Cardinals season. We know who they're going to play, which opponents, which games, which locations we think are going to be the toughest for the Cardinals. We'll do a list. An NFL list, a Cardinals list. We'll do it next on the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Shinedown.
Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Phoenix. Footprint Center, Saturday, August 2nd. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. It's about to get heavy. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner at A1 Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. Call A1 Garage Door Service, and you'll be smiling today.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Fulton Homes is bringing legendary Fulton quality back to the West Valley. Explore 4 exceptional West Valley locations with more standard features and thousands of ways to personalize your home. Find out why people buy Fulton Homes over and over again. Fulton Homes, you're proud to own, we're proud to build.
Hey Arizona, Tom Chambers here. I've learned that great teams are built by hard work, ethics, and perseverance. That's exactly what you get with Right Way Roofing. Right Way Roofing is a third-generation roofing company that has built trust in our community through their commitment to excellence. They use the toughest, most durable materials to handle Arizona's extreme weather. Take it from me, Tom Chambers. When it comes to your roof, choose the team that delivers excellence, because there's only one way, the right way.
We're Right Way Roofing and we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
The summertime savings are heating up at Scottsdale Mitsubishi. Come check out a brand new 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage for just $15,995.
The name to remember? Scottsdale Mitsubishi. Scottsdale Mitsubishi, another Mark Auto Group dealership.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. All year long, the narrative around the Eastern Conference was simple. It's going to be Boston and Cleveland. It's a 2-horse race in a field of long shots. Well, that's the thing about the playoffs. They don't care about the regular season. Pacers just polished off the Cavs in 5. The Celtics are down 3-1 to the Knicks and suddenly clinging to their postseason life. So much for a cakewalk. And look, I've said it for years, there's no such thing as a team not having any chance. The Pacers have been overlooked all season. Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, and a physical, balanced roster just flipped the East on its head. The Knicks, they just keep grinding out wins, ugly or not, behind Jalen Brunson and a team that refuses to quit. The lesson here is simple. The playoffs expose what's real. And right now, the so-called favorites are the ones searching for answers. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. If you played pickleball in regular sneakers, you know you can pay the price. They don't cut it. And Todd found this out the hard way. We have this great sponsor, Tyrell. They make the best pickleball shoes. So one day Todd is playing pickleball and he forgot his Tyrell pickleball shoes. Well, you know what happened? He got hurt. He was playing in some fancy different shoes that aren't meant for pickleball, and he learned a lesson. Tyrell has everything you need to keep your feet cool. They're tough. They're lightweight. They're so solid on your feet, and you're going to wear and tear on the court, and they're ready to go. Every detail is built to help you play better. Tyrell pickleball shoes. If you want to play longer, feel better, and stop sliding around in those old sneakers, go to TyrellPickleball.com. You can look like a pro. You can play like a pro. It's Tyrell pickleball shoes. You spell it Tyrol. Tyrell pickleball shoes, the best pickleball shoes, purpose-built for pickleball.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Later on today, we'll get the schedule release for the Arizona Cardinals for the entire NFL. Tomorrow, we'll play the win-loss game, our official predictions on the season. But I thought it would be fun if we did a list Wednesdays are our list days here on the program. Last week, it was reasons for optimism about the Cardinals. Today, we are predicting the 5 most important games of the Cardinals season. And so, you betcha, I'm going to play the music.
Let's go.
I saw you frantically during the break writing stuff down. Some last-minute changes to your list?
No, I'm good here.
You're settled.
I'm settled.
Okay. I just saw it during the commercial break because in my studio, I just see a wall of monitors, and then I see the top of Evan's head. And during the break, all I saw was him just head down, could barely see him, and he was scribbling something on his paper. Oh, you know what it was? The PGA picks. That's what you're doing.
It wasn't even the picks. I got new info. Got updated odds, so I had to change it.
Changing your pick.
No,
you're keeping your pick.
I kept my pick. I just updated the odds.
Okay, all right. Just making sure.
But then I added some new information to give you guys too. Yeah. Listen, I'm a man of the people up here. Let's get into our list.
Man of the people, he said. Predicting the 5 most important games of the Cardinals season. Now, our friend Sean has jumped into the YouTube chat and has just spammed the comments. We'll get to what he said is on his list because he wrote his list. He had all 5 games on there. I'm going to start with number 5. 5 most important games of the Cardinals season. Number 5 is a road game. I think road games are important because they're tests for the respective team. And I think if the Cardinals are going to make the noise of being a playoff team and breaking through that barrier that has eluded them over the last couple of seasons, they're going to have to go in on the road and they're going to have to prove themselves. So number 5 for me is at Houston when they'll take on the Texans. Again, we don't know when these games are. This is not necessarily looking at the most important games in terms of where they are in the schedule because we don't know where they are in the schedule. I'm looking at the opponents, the quality of the team that they're going to play, and I'm circling these games as these are important. So I've got Houston on the road at number 5.
Didn't have that one on my list. I had at Seattle.
I cheated a little bit with the division games. I'll get to it in a second. Number 4 is...
How's that fair?
If you let me explain what I did before jumping me, then maybe you'll understand what I did.
Well, we did a list here, and now you're hitting me with a curveball when we get on air.
No, it's not a curveball. You have the list in front. You have my list on the show rundown. You saw exactly what I did. I print out a copy of the show rundown. What do I do with one copy? I put it right on the board for you. So you can just look at the order.
Never mind. We'll get into our list, and then I want you to explain it. Get into the list.
Number 5 at Houston. Number 4, another road game. This one you add to the list of importance because it may be a tiebreaker, how you play within the conference. You may be battling this team for a wild card spot. Who knows? I have at Tampa on the list at number 4.
I had that one at 3. And at that spot, another game you didn't have in there, I have the Atlanta Falcons at home.
Yeah, did not have Atlanta on the list.
Could be an interesting team. Could be a team you fight for a wild card spot with.
Could be, 100%. All reasons for that. I have a divisional game at number 3. But I have 2 divisional games at number 3 because I wrote as the 5 most important games of the Cardinal season. Number 3, both games against the Rams.
So I think my big thing is if you're going to take both of them, like if we can pick those as a clump together, that needs to be 1, I think.
So you want me to move that to 1 because they're divisional games? I can consider it.
It's the best team in your division. It's the test of do we belong in this division?
All right. I'll do an Evan. I'll scribble here on the paper. I'm not above changing the list a little bit. So if you're saying if we're going to clump division games together, which is what I did, both games against the Rams, that has to go number 1.
That's my thought.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that. So both Rams games move all the way up to number 1. So now I got to reorder the list here a little bit. What did you have at number 3?
At 3, I had the Cincinnati game.
So I have Cincinnati at number 2, but that has to move down to number 3 for me because of the way we've reordered the list. So you and I are in lockstep now. Here's why that Cincinnati game is really important. Yes, it's an AFC foe. Joe Burrow, that great offense. I'd love for that game to be early in the season. And the reason why I want it to be early in the season, all right, new defense. All right, defense.
Here's your test. Give me them in week 2.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Go and play Joe Burrow early in the season, not week 1, because then you have that as a fallback.
Let's get Will Johnson to see a week and then go line him up against T. Higgins.
Let's play Cincinnati in the first half of the season. Let's play Cincinnati pre-bye week. How about that?
I don't hate that at all.
So I have Cincinnati at number 3, and I have the Green Bay Packers at number 2. A divisional opponent. They're coming to you, so it's a home game. So you want to defend home turf, but it is a tough opponent at home in Green Bay. So to just reset, because we made some changes, I got at Houston at 5. I got at Tampa at 4. I got at Cincinnati at 3. I got Green Bay at home 2, and I picked divisional games. I have both Rams games at number 1. That's the team you are, I think, directly competing with for the division. I don't think the 49ers are going to be very good this season. Seattle, I know they signed Sam Darnold. I'm not ready to say that they're going to be the threat. I think it is Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, 49ers is the way that I have the division stacked right now. So those games against the Rams are going to be really important.
I think it's really interesting to order the importance of them because to me, I agree with you. I think the Seattle games are interesting. Those are games to me that you have to win because like you said, I don't think they're going to be as good with Sam Darnold. You can't give up those opportunities to win division games. The Rams will slip up. They typically do every year in a couple. Take advantage of those. Win the games you're supposed to win. So it's hard ordering these in order of importance. I'm with you, though. I like the Packers at 2. I think that's going to be a real big test. I think it's going to be another team that is definitely going to be a team you're going to have to see in the wild card race. You could see them in the playoffs as well.
Here is what the Cardinals did last year. They were 3-3 against the division. They were 4-8 against the NFC. 4-8 against the NFC, really 3-3 against the division. They got 3 of their 4 NFC wins against divisional opponents. They have to do better, which is why Tampa is on this list, which is why Green Bay is on this list. They've got Atlanta. They play New Orleans week 1. I'm sorry, you got to beat New Orleans week 1.
That feels like a gimme, right? Like I know it's the NFL, but you have to win that game.
And I don't want to do the win-loss game right now. That's tomorrow. But you got to win week 1, right? Like you just have to. If you don't win week 1, I mean, we're going to be taking phone calls on that Monday of people saying the season's over. You say it's going to be awesome. No, we're not rooting for that. But that, I mean, if you lose week 1 to the Saints, everything gets thrown up in the air.
I'll be shocked.
Shocked.
I'll be shocked.
You don't use that very often.
No. And I also want to say this. I can't imagine the amount of people that would be calling for Gannon's job if they lose that game. Week 1.
1 week into the season, we're already calling for a coaching change. Yeah, I mean, you have to win week 1. So again, to recap my list, the 5 most important games of the Cardinals season, again, without knowing the order of them. Number 5 at Houston, number 4 at Tampa Bay, number 3 at the Cincinnati Bengals, number 2 the Green Bay Packers, number 1, I cheated a little bit, both games against the Los Angeles Rams for me at number 1. This is a team that went 3-3 in the division last year. They went 4-8 in the conference. They went 2-6 on the road. You want to be a playoff team, you have to be better on the road. You have to be better in the division. You have to be better in the conference. So it's not a surprise that I got a lot of NFC games on here. I got a lot of road games on here. And I got a lot of conference games on here.
My final list was at Seattle, home against the Falcons. Got to win your home games, I think.
Yep.
At 3, we had Cincinnati. 2, we had the Packers. And then 1, because you clumped them together, I have to put the Rams there.
Yeah, I took some creative liberties. I will admit that. I took some creative liberties with with putting 2 divisional games together. Because if you weren't, you would just, the 5 games would be all divisional games, right? You would just pick playing the division because that's how you get a home playoff game. So I cheated a little bit, but that was so I could get other games on the list. The 5 most important games of the Cardinal season, according to us, another edition of the list in the books. When we come back, how aggressive should the Phoenix Suns be to get back the 10th overall pick? We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Hosier presents the Unreal Unearthed Tour 2025, live in Phoenix. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, October 7th. With special guest, Amble. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The #1 album, Unreal Unearthed, is available everywhere. For more, visit hosier.com.
Looking to sell your home? Hi, I'm Andrew the Home Buyer, and I love making it easy to sell your house. I'll personally come and give you a cash offer the same day we meet, and I'll beat any other offer. It really is that easy to sell your home, and no need to clean or fix anything. I'll buy it in as-is condition. Call me, Andrew the Home Buyer, today to get your same-day cash offer. Visit AndrewTheHomebuyer.com.
The Memorial Day Mega Sale is on at Little Dealer Little Prices. Take off your summer adventure with a new Forest River Westbrook from $13,995, featuring better quality, better features, and unbeatable value. Veterans, active duty military, and first responders receive a free Canby package with purchase as our way of saying thank you. Enjoy zero markups on freight and prep fees and shop with confidence thanks to fast, easy financing. These deals won't last. Visit littledealer.com today. Discount valid on in-stock RVs. Camping package for eligible buyers. Do not combine mobile with other offers. See dealer for details until May 31st, 2025.
Are you tired of seeing rust stains in your sinks? Call Culligan. Or scrubbing hard water scale buildup from your fixtures. Call Culligan. We can customize whole home solutions to address common water worries found in Phoenix. And now, for a limited time, you can get better water at every tap in your home for $0 down, no payments, and no interest for 6 months. Problem water is no problem for Culligan. Contact your local water expert today. Contaminants may not be in your water. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for details.
Summer's almost here, and that means swimsuits, pool parties, and walks on the beach. For the confidence to look your very best, come to Red Mountain Weight Loss. At Red Mountain, our expert doctors will help maximize your results from brand name medications like Wegovy and Zepbound. Another option is our signature medication, RM3. RM3 helps you lose up to 20 pounds a month while melting inches from your belly, hips, and thighs. This patented medication is available only by prescription, and you can only get it at Red Mountain Weight Loss. For over 30 years, Red Mountain has been the trusted leader in medical weight loss. Our doctors deliver safe, effective solutions tailored to your needs. Red Mountain has helped over 1 million patients lose weight safely, and they can help you too. Lose weight and look great just in time for summer at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com. Red Mountain Weight Loss. Real doctors, real results.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Welcome back into the lunch break. You're on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you till the top of the hour. And we'll hand things off to the Jim Rome Show. Hey, if you're listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app, or perhaps you're listening to us streaming on the website, you can listen for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks when they take on the Colorado Rockies this Saturday, May 17th at Chase Field. And make sure you get to the game early to pick up the replica home jersey at the game. Stick around afterwards for an awesome post-game fireworks show. You can get your tickets at dbacks.com/SGT. We're giving away a 4-pack for listening on the app or streaming us on the website. But you have to be registered. You have to be logged in while you are listening to not just this show, whether you're listening to Dan Patrick in the mornings, Jim Rome in the afternoons, maybe Rooster, the Sports Zoo on your way home from work, whatever you're listening to. If you're listening to us on the app, you're streaming us on the website, and you want to be entered in believe today is the last day that you have to be registered and logged in on those platforms in order to be entered in to win the 4-pack for this weekend series on Saturday, the game Saturday against the Rockies. The NBA draft lottery in the rearview mirror, the combine underway, and I find myself consumed by NBA draft content. Love a good draft. We love the NFL draft here on this show. Love it. One of our favorite times of the year.
I think you're just a draft guy.
I'm a draft guy. And so with the draft lottery, the order set, I have found myself diving headfirst into all the draft content. Mock drafts, potential trades, stories, you name it. I'm trying to get up to speed on this draft for the Phoenix Suns. And when Houston didn't move up in the draft lottery and they stayed or they moved down one spot to the number 10 pick, I think a logical conclusion that people reached is Houston's going to be more willing to move that pick this year in whatever trade they consider. A Giannis trade, a KD trade. And so for us, the Kevin Durant side of that equation comes into the forefront. And I still think Houston may be interested in Kevin Durant. We don't know for sure. But it does feel like if they are interested, if they are willing to make a deal for Kevin Durant, they may be more willing to move a pick this year than they were in the past because they didn't get a top 5 pick. They didn't get the luck that Dallas got. They didn't get the luck that San Antonio got. They didn't get the luck that Philadelphia got. They moved down a spot. They're picking 10. So they may say, you know what? You want your own pick back? And Houston has always been the most attractive place for the Suns to trade with because they have the Suns picks. This dates back to the day they made the trade with Brooklyn to get the picks. Everybody said Houston is buying themselves an opportunity down the road. If things go sideways in Phoenix with the Suns and they want to trade Book or they want to trade KD, Houston has their golden ticket out, the parachute out. And so for just a second today, because this is where my brain went this morning, what if the Suns were able to acquire the 10th overall pick back? Should they be aggressive in pursuing so? Should they want to make a Kevin Durant trade with Houston over a bunch of other teams to get that 10th overall pick back? Maybe other teams are offering them more from a quantity perspective, but is the quality of the 10th overall pick worth it to get that pick back? How aggressive should this team be? So I'm diving in. I'm looking at mock drafts. I'm seeing players that are within a couple of picks of Houston's spot at number 10. And I looked at all the mock drafts that we looked at yesterday. The Ringer, The Athletic, CBS Sports, ESPN, I'm looking. And I'll tell you, the question that you have to ask yourself, and I don't know if I have the answer yet. So part of the reason why I want to do this is I'm just sharing with you all my current thought process here. I don't know enough about these players to make this determination, but my early read is I don't know if this is a draft where there's 5 or 6 can't miss players. I know there's a guy at number 1. Dallas pulled that coup off. So if you're going to be aggressive and you're going to demand the 10th overall pick back from Houston, you got to be able to land somebody that helps you. It's got to be worth it for that to be the centerpiece of what you bring back because you've got to land a player that helps expedite this process. So who may be available? So I've got the Ringer draft up and I'm looking at Carter Bryant's name, the freshman out of the University of Arizona. I'm seeing names like Derek Queen, a big man out of Maryland who's a freshman. I'm looking at Yegor Demon, the freshman out of BYU who's a guard. And I'm reading these scouting reports and these guys in different ways, different positions. One's a guard, one's a wing, one's a big man. They all check different boxes. And I see all 3 of these guys. They're just some of the names that have jumped off the page at me. Because when I'm reading these scouting reports, I'm just looking for buzzwords. I'm looking for keywords. I'm looking for defense. I'm looking for athleticism. I'm looking for energy, chaos. Those are some of the things I'm looking for. And so if the Suns feel like they can move up and they can get their 10th overall pick back by trading KD to Houston, takes 2 to tango. Houston has to want to do that. But if they can get that pick back and they think there's a guy that can be a helpful centerpiece of what they want to do moving forward, then I say go for it. Be aggressive. Maybe take the quality of the 10th overall pick over the quantity of what you might get someplace else. But you have to determine whether or not it is quality. You have to determine whether or not you're going to get somebody that is worth just getting back a single asset. Because maybe another team will offer you more picks. more future picks, maybe some young players, some lottery tickets. And maybe Houston says, we'll give you 10 and one other thing. You have to decide, is 10 worth it? And so far in my early read of some of these scouting reports, my early read of where things stand with some of these players, there are some players that jump off the page to me that we know are not going to be available at 29. The more I read about Carter Bryant, the more I'm interested. The freshman down in Arizona who had a good year last year. The more I read about Yegor Demon, the BYU freshman, I'm like, that would be an intriguing point guard option to play alongside Devin Booker. Derek Queen, the big man out of Maryland, who I mentioned, reading about him, kind of intrigued. And so you have to have a big enough list. And no matter what mock draft you look at, these are some of the guys that constantly seem to be in that range for the Phoenix Suns. So with the combine underway, we know where Houston's going to pick. We are now in wait-and-see mode to how the Suns are going to attack a Kevin Durant trade. If they're going to be able to land themselves a pick in this year's draft ahead of where they pick now at 29 to help them get two swings at this bat. But there are some players that, at least in my early preliminary parachuting into the NBA draft, jumped off the page to me. But we'll see what the Suns do. But their aggressiveness should be tied to how they feel about this draft class and how they feel about the players that could be available with the 10th overall pick. If you don't like this class, if you don't think there's good value there, then you're okay with getting future picks. You're okay with quantity. You think the quality is there down the road. But if you think, there's a 7, 8, 9 guys that we think are going to be there at 10 that we love, that we think can fit exactly what we're trying to do, then you should make that a priority. The leftovers coming up next. PGA Championship picks from producer Evan, trying to go 2 for 2 after nailing Rory McIlroy as the Masters champion. And what other stories he has up his sleeve for the leftovers. We will get to them next as we wrap up today's edition of the show. KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays, 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Lincoln Park. From Zero World Tour 2025.
You ready?
Live in Phoenix. Footprint Center, Saturday, September 6th, with special guest Gene Dawson. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit lincolnpark.com.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Colina. We've purchased 2 Fulton homes in the last 7 years. We would never buy anywhere but Fulton homes.
We actually tried other builders, looked at them, and nothing compares to Fulton quality. We're repeat builders with Fulton. It's been an amazing process, and we would never go anywhere else after experiencing it. The process working with the Fulton team was great. They cared. We got updates, and you could just tell how much they were excited, almost as much as we are. Fulton is so good at the homes they build. The quality you get is just really unmatched. They continue to care about us as a client, even though we've now finished the sale. I admired their communities because they were always a step above. The amount of landscaping, the way it was always groomed. They add the features that you want to be outside, you want to be in the community. And that matters to us. We want to be outside, not just in the home. And all the amenities are just amazing. We would buy Fulton Homes again in a heartbeat. I don't think we'd consider anybody else.
Fulton Homes. You're proud to own, we're proud to build.
Ooh, Del Taco?
Yep, they got these new boxes that are loaded with my faves.
LB boxes, come on, can I get a Del, yeah? Del, yeah.
What was that?
Oh, I bring these guys everywhere. Really enhances the experience.
Introducing El Big Boxes from Del Taco. Choose from the $5 Classico, the $7 Mex Faves, and $9 Amerimex box. More food, more flavor, more value. Only at Del Taco.
Del, yeah.
Price of participation may vary.
It's ASU Baseball's final series of the 2025 regular season over on KAZG 1440. Join the Sun Devils as they get ready to face off against Oklahoma State starting this Thursday. ASU has fought hard in every one of their matchups and looked to fight to the very end. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live from Stillwater. It's ASU versus OSU. Pregame at 3:45 p.m. and first pitch at 4 over on KAZG 1440 and online at KDUS1060.com/Sun Devils. Are we leading the leftovers with the PGA Championship picks, or are we saving those for the end, Producer Evan?
Yeah, let's lead with them.
Okay.
All right. So
I think it's important we set this up. Defending champion. You picked the Masters champion correctly. So you're riding high. You're feeling good. And what if we just took a shot? You're trying to go 2 for 2.
Yeah, and I'm going to take my victory lap here. I won on this one. Some of my biggest bets, long shots, have been in golf. But we're going to get right into what I got here for the 2025 PGA Championship.
Quail Hollow, correct?
What?
Quail Hollow?
Yes.
Where they're
Quail
playing?
Hollow, yep. I'm going to give a top 20 pick, a top 10, a top 5, and a winner.
Hold on. Because the one thing I didn't do when we did this for the Masters is you did the same thing, and I didn't keep track. So you're doing a top 20.
A top 10.
A top 10.
A top 5 and a winner.
A top 5 and a winner. All right, go ahead.
Okay. We'll start with the top 20.
That sounds right.
I like Patrick Reed to make the top 20. You can get that at plus 200 on FanDuel.
Okay, so Patrick Reed plus 200. Okay.
In the top 10, I like Colin Morikawa, who always feels like he's in the conversation, but he is one of the worst putters I've ever seen on tour. But I like him at plus 180.
So
to make the top 10.
Patrick Reed, top 20. Colin Morikawa, top 10.
Here is one I really love for the top 5.
Okay.
Ludwig Oberg.
Wow, you're going with Oberg. Okay.
At the top 5, you can get him at plus 410. And I don't mind a little sprinkle, and I'm not giving my winner pick on Ludwig Oberg, but I don't mind a sprinkle on him to win the tournament at plus 2,500.
Okay. Don't mind a sprinkle, but would rather him be in the top 5. Got it.
And our winner of the PGA Championship picks, Xander Schauffele. Plus 2,200.
Plus 2,200.
$10 to win $220.
So Patrick Reed, top 20. Colin Morikawa, top 10. Ludwig Oberg, top 5. And Xander Schauffele, the winner. So no Scotty Scheffler.
No Scotty.
No Rory. Grand Slam.
Because he finished the Grand Slam. I think he's riding too much of a high now.
He can do the 1 year Grand Slam.
No, he's not going to. You need the first, though.
That's what he said. And he did. He got the first.
Yeah.
You can't win
I
the
knew
Triple
you were
Crown horse without.
Did you think that I was going to have Rory to win this thing again?
I thought you would consider it.
I totally did, but it's horrible odds.
Well, he's one of the favorites, right? Him and Scotty are the favorites?
Yeah, I think they're either tied or both right around plus 400. Like everyone else, you could take the field at all over plus 1,000 or those two at plus 400.
Yeah, Michael's taking Scotty on the YouTube chat.
Listen, Michael, I think that's probably a good pick, man. I don't know what to tell you other than that's a slam dunk pick. But
so Patrick Reed, top 20. Colin Morikawa, top 10. Ludwig Oberg, top 5. Xander Schauffele, the winner.
Love it.
Okay. PGA
It's a
Championship
winning
picks.
recipe.
There you go.
Moving on to the National Football League.
National Football League. You need some music for this?
I would love some
music. NFL story in the leftovers. I'll play the music.
Derrick Henry receives a 2-year, $30 million extension from the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, they're paying him a lot of money. And Saquon Barkley, I'll get the music out of here. Saquon Barkley and what he did in Philadelphia, kind of forcing teams to pay running backs. And Henry was good last year for Baltimore. You hope that this contract ages well, but yeah, that's the going rate for an elite running back. And so Baltimore committing to the identity, committing to who they are as a football team, wanting to make sure they have Derrick Henry locked up for the near-term future.
The next one. First look with some pictures on set today of the movie Madden, a movie about John Madden. To be honest with you, didn't know much about this film until today, but excited by the cast. Nick Cage is going to be playing John Madden, and Christian Bale is actually going to be playing Al Davis.
See the picture of the two of them? I saw the
Yeah,
picture.
they both look pretty on point.
They look. Nick Cage does a really good young John Madden, and Christian Bale very much looks like Al Davis. It's really well done. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be fun, and I love a good sports movie.
Is this going to be released in theaters?
I don't know.
Is this straight to streaming?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
Did you see the streaming news today?
No.
Do you? Which streaming services do you have?
Everything.
So you have Netflix?
Yes.
You have Hulu?
Yes.
You have Max?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know if you noticed this, but this morning it was announced it's going back to HBO Max.
Good. What was that?
Well, fine. You're right. What was the change in the first place? But less than 2 years later, you're going back? If you're going to commit to a decision, commit to a decision. That would be like if we changed the name of the radio station, and then 6 months into changing the name of the radio station, we said, you know what, we're going back.
Like if we just called ourselves like the snack break, and we're gonna go back to the lunch break.
If we change the name of the show, I'm just saying if we change the whole name of the station, right? KDUS AM 1060. If we just dropped the KDUS and we just called it 1060, right? And then 2 years later, or less than 2 years later, we're like, yeah, we're just going back to the whole thing. What are you doing? You're HBO. You make a ton of money. You've got to have some smart people over there that know what they're doing.
Fired up about this because this is another victory lap for me.
Okay.
I have an Apple TV. It's like how I run all my stuff on my TV.
Okay.
And I have kept HBO Max on there as an app and never deleted it for 2 years now. And I would say once a week, I'm trying to go to Max and click HBO Max. And so now I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong?
Never wrong, just early.
Never wrong, just early.
Yep.
The quintessential.
Both feet on the ground, stand by what I say.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just not changing.
Okay, got a story here from Bleacher Report. Kind of an interesting one, kind of a fun one. The top 5 rookies with the most pressure this season.
In the NFL?
In the NFL.
Can I try to guess?
You can try to guess. Do you want to start with 5 or start with 1? Because
I'm just going to throw out names. That's what I'm going to do.
Yep.
I'm going to throw out names and try to see if I'm a top 5 rookies under the most pressure in 2025 in the NFL.
I mean, there's a slam dunk.
Cam Ward's on the list.
He's one.
Cam Ward is on the list at number 1. I have somebody because of the position that they play and where they were drafted.
I think you got it.
Ashton Genty's on the list.
Ashton Genty's not on the
So
list. It's not where I thought you were going.
I didn't have it.
No.
Because I was thinking running back, really high draft pick. There's pressure on those guys.
Stay with that position, though, with a team that needed a running back.
Stay with that position, but a team that needed the running back.
Stay in.
Amaria Hampton, the Chargers running back?
No, stay in the division you were at to start.
So I've guessed a Raiders running back. I've guessed a Chargers running back. You want me to guess Travion Henderson?
No.
Who's left? Who did I miss?
RJ Harvey.
RJ Harvey.
RJ Harvey was 5th on the list. And then number 2 is another quarterback.
Jackson Dart? No, Tyler Shuck.
Tyler Shuck.
Because now he's the starter in New Orleans. Yeah.
Because now he's the full-time starter in New Orleans.
They haven't made that official, but that's who's going to be their starter.
Number 3, you've already guessed this team. Another high pick.
I've already guessed this team.
Yep.
High pick. I guess the Raiders.
Not Genty.
I guess the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Chargers. Who did the Chargers pick? Why is my memory
No,
eluding?
it's not the Chargers.
It's the Chiefs.
It is not the Chiefs.
It's the Broncos?
You guessed them last. We went quarterback was last. You went with
I'm now confused.
Jackson Dart and the Giants. It's Abdul Carter.
I got landlocked to the AFC West. I forgot that I even mentioned the Giants.
And the last one is interesting.
Okay.
On this list. I don't really know if I agree, but I think because of what this team did to acquire him, now the pressure's on.
It's going to be James Pierce Jr. in Atlanta.
It is.
You traded a future first-round pick to move back up into the first round for a pass rusher. This dude's got to be incredible. This dude has to be defensive rookie of the year.
So, that's the list. Listen, I think looking at the list, obviously the starting quarterbacks that are going to start week 1 are going to be the 1 and 2 on the list. Abdul Carter, pressure's on there. Now and I agree, but then you went out, you asked for LT's number, you didn't get that.
Well,
you asked for Phil Simms' number, you didn't get that.
That's just not
now
reading the room.
you have to be good. There is no options anymore. You have to be good. James Pierce Jr., like you said, you just gave up too much. And RJ Harvey, that you went to a running back room where you can be productive and you're going to be a pretty featured piece.
You can get some touches early in that offense.
That's really where I wanted Scat to go, honestly.
That's going to do it for the Wednesday edition of the program. Jim Rome is coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. We're back tomorrow. Win-loss game for the Cardinals. Everything about their schedule release, we'll have it for you. And we'll also break down the Diamondbacks and Erod's performance. Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya!
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLI